come on out to Brown Mountain Bottle Works at 115 East Union Street in Morganton, North Carolina. The place to be for great craft beer. Browse their shelves filled with hundreds of craft beer selections. Relax and enjoy one of their 8 draft taps. Show your love for the store with their logoed t-shirts, hats, and glassware. Want to see what they have in stock 24 hours a day? Check out their website at www.brownmountainbottleworks.com. We'll see you there.
Hi, I'm Glenn, Dave's behind the camera. We're the NC Beer Guys, and welcome to another episode of the NC Beer Buzz. We found our way to Durham and to the Bull City Ciderworks today. This will be the very first cidery we visited and done an NC Beer Buzz with, and we're happy to be here. This is Ryan Bogard. He's the owner, and he invited us in to talk about cideries. If you visit our website, you'll see we have a new cidery map up, and of course, one of the proud owners on that map is Bull City Ciderworks. Thanks for having us in.
Thanks for being here.
So you're about a year in.
Yep, year.
Is it everything you thought it'd be?
And more.
Great. Good.
Yeah, absolutely. It's it's definitely there's been a lot of things that we never would have thought would happen. We've grown tremendously in that time. We've gone from 30-gallon fermenters up to now we're at 50-barrel fermenters in about a year's time. So things have really grown exponentially here.
Now I know you're a great businessman, but some of that is to be credited to the cider movement.
Yep.
And what is behind that? Why are cideries coming on so strong?
Yeah, so ciders were previously defined as something that was really had to be apples, had to taste like apples, had to be sweet,
And often not hard.
Absolutely, yeah. And so what's really had to been done in the past few years is just a redefining of what cider is. So first there was really the traditional sort of cider movement, which was more of the wine-like cider. So you had a lot of wine-like ciders that popped up, and these were very different from some of the mainstream ciders, which were very, very sweet, kind of candy-like.
Okay.
And so these were more nuanced wine-like ciders, high-quality ciders using traditional cider apples. And so what changed in the past 5 years, though, there was kind of a branching off of traditional ciders and what are now called modern American hard ciders. And modern American hard ciders are they're just different. It's kind of like what the craft beer revolution was. These modern American hard ciders are to cider making today.
Meaning they're more local.
They're more local.
Use the local ingredients.
Exactly. Yep. And they add different ingredients. So it's not just apples. You can add tea to it. You can add ginger to it. You can add basil.
Now, when you say
thyme.
add to it,
Yep.
but you always start with apples?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yep.
so it's always an apple product.
Yeah. Yep.
But there are adjuncts and additives and other things.
That's it.
Flavors, profiles.
Yep.
And that's so out of the norm of traditional ciders.
Absolutely.
That's what you're saying.
Yep.
Right.
So you're really trying to change the flavor of the cider to be something completely different. You're transforming it into something different, something that people might recognize in another beverage. So in the case of our smooth hoperator, we add hops to it, dry hop it. We want it to taste more akin to a beer.
Right.
Or with our Steep South, we add the tea to it, and what we're going for is sweet tea cider. Really trying to transform it, make it something completely unique.
Now, some people would credit part of the cider movement to the need for gluten-free beer.
Yep.
Because there's the argument, is gluten-free beer really beer?
Yeah.
But if you're not going to make a gluten-free beer, why don't we feature a cider?
Yep.
Which is by definition gluten-free.
Yep.
So do you believe that, or do you buy into that somewhat?
Absolutely.
Okay, there is something to that.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
At the cider bar, we found that, I wouldn't say a majority, but I would say, probably 50% of our customers do have some sort of gluten intolerance, or they can't have gluten for whatever reason. And we do find ourselves kind of catering to that. We have some, ideas that we want to do, that may actually contain a little bit of gluten. But, by and large, everything we have on tap here is gluten-free. And, people, I think, have underestimated a little bit the gluten-free movement, and how many people it does affect. And so we've received emails from numerous people thanking us for creating a beverage that is different from the ciders that are out there, because they wanted something different, and they wanted something gluten-free. But it's not just gluten-free. There's a lot of other health
also searching for the
aspects.
same varieties, the same local, back to nature. The whole something that the commercial cidery, so to speak, we're not doing.
Exactly. Yep.
So talk about you. How did you become a cidery guy? What do you know about it? How did you get to it?
So my background is in microbiology and molecular genetics, and
you decided just to go broke and run a cidery.
Well, I've loved home brewing for a long time. I love beer. I love beer just as much as cider, and I have quite a few friends that make beer, and I've been making beer for about 8 years now, cider for about 4 years now, and it was just a passion, and it grew into something more. So really, it was myself and 3 other partners. We kind of sat down and we knew we wanted to get into brewing somehow. We all had some core skill sets that we knew would be complementary, and we could really pull this off. We originally thought, let's do beer. And then
but so did everybody else.
Exactly.
Right.
Everybody else was thinking about it. And it was really John, one of the partners, who said, you know what? I've never had cider like what you make. So I let him try some of the ciders. At that time, I was making more traditional ciders, more the wine-like ciders that were very dry.
But still, your background as a craft beer brewer,
exactly,
you had to sometimes play with the ciders.
Absolutely,
and you'd offered him something he hadn't had previously in a cider.
Yes.
Now, you guys were the first cidery in Durham, is that right?
We are, yeah.
You are the only one still?
Yes, to my knowledge, yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
And we haven't set the scene. We're here on Elizabeth Street. Right in the shadow of the stadium a little bit down. But not for that much longer, because we're moving up better things, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Durham Police Department bought the whole block, and so we kind of have a deadline for December. That doesn't work for us because it coincides with the apple harvest, so we've got to be out much sooner than that. So that really kind of lit a fire under us to get up and out of here, and at the same time we're growing rapidly, and we've run out of space, so it's kind of a good thing.
It was kind of a forced decision on you, but yet it might be the right thing to do anyway.
Exactly.
You would have had to soon expand or find other digs anyway.
Absolutely, yeah. And we launched a Kickstarter campaign to help us with some of the costs, because
that was just in March. That's a recent thing.
Exactly, yeah, and that got funded. Tremendous outpouring from the community. Everybody really supports cider in North Carolina, and that's really what is helping us move to this next location. A lot of the upfitting costs here are going to be lost. So I can't thank the community enough for coming out and supporting us and helping us get to the next level.
And we're not ready to say where the new location is yet because of lease and contractual situations.
Absolutely, yeah.
But maybe by midsummer we'll be in the new digs.
Yep, absolutely,
okay.
yeah.
That's fair enough to say.
So we'll be making an announcement probably in a week or two.
Okay.
And what I can say, it's going to be in East Durham. It's going to be pretty close to where we're at now. East Durham to us is really our community. This is where everybody supported us, and so we want to remain here. We should be up and running, at least the production side, by late June, and then the cider bar will be moving probably a month or two after that. Yeah.
And until that time, you invite people into the cider bar.
Absolutely.
Which is where we are now. You see the cider taps behind us.
Yep.
And when are you open, and when do you like people to come in?
Yeah, so we're open Wednesday through Sundays. Wednesday through Friday, we're open 5 to 10 o'clock. Actually, Fridays we're open till I think 12 o'clock. Saturdays we're open 11 till midnight. And then Sundays we're open from 1 p.m. till I think 6 o'clock. We get a lot of food trucks out here. We have a lot of games in the parking lot area. Come on out, enjoy some cider. We've got a lot of different things on tap. Usually we'll have 9 to 10 things on tap. A lot of the stuff that you won't find that we have out in the stores right now.
Let's talk about the products and also your accounts. So you've got some flagships that you always have on tap?
Absolutely, yeah.
And that's because those are your successful ciders that everybody wants?
Yeah. So those were really kind of the ones that we really built the company on. And these were Off Main. Off Main is our traditional traditional cider. It's a semi-sweet cider. It's our flagship cider. What you would expect in a cider, except not so sweet.
Okay.
We've also got Sweet Carolina. If you want something a little bit sweeter, this is it's a honey-infused cider. We get our honey locally. It's sourced from Georgia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. So that really, the honey is the star of that. We have Steep South, which is a southern-inspired cider that's a sweet tea cider. So it's a black tea with a little bit of honey in it.
Right.
And then we have Smooth Hop, which is a dry hop cider with Citra, Galaxy, and Cascade hops. Very floral, American IPA kind of style. Not much bitter on that though.
Right.
And then we also have Rise Up, which is our fresh ginger infused cider. So we grind up about 30 pounds of ginger, put it in our bright tank, steep it.
Right.
So big ginger flavor on
that's
that.
great.
Yep.
And now your product is available here, of course.
Yep.
In bulk or in tap. I mean, you got something you can
we've got
take
growlers
home with
you can
them.
take home. Yep.
But also in local accounts, on tap or in bulk, or how?
Yeah,
do people get
absolutely.
the stuff?
So we're in just growlers right now. We're hopefully at the new location we'll be able to get a portable canning machine come up, and we'll be in cans.
Okay. So where can people find your stuff locally?
Right now, you can get us at Sam's, both of the Sam's locations, Whole Foods, Total Wine. Any of the bottle shops really in the area.
Okay.
You can find us anywhere around the triangle.
And for our beer drinkers, we're beer people, so we have beer followers, is the price differential about the same? Or are they going to pay more for cider or less? Or
cider is going to be a little bit more expensive, and it's just the inputs are a little bit more. Apples they're just more expensive by nature. And so for us, a growler, you'll find a growler for about anywhere from $15 to $16.
Okay.
And then a $4 bottle deposit. So a little bit more expensive than some of the beers out there, but
and the
not
pints
much.
are pints across the counter, or usually what?
So pints we charge $5, right? So it's comparable to a beer.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Very good.
Yep.
Thanks for having us in. It's going to be great. We wish you well.
Thanks for being here. Yeah.
Good luck with the move.
Thanks so much.
And it's great being a groundbreaker, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Good. Good. Till next time, this is David Lynn from the Bull City Ciderworks in Durham. And I'm inviting you to drink local and keep your beer dollars in North Carolina.